Hey guys, welcome to another review. Mr. Proton. Review-ish. It's kind of a review, at the same time as more of a show and tell, but I'll get into that anyway. What I'm doing today is this little beastie here, the e-cig Coil from VapeGear.co.uk. Keith and the lovely Kirsty sent this down for me to have a go of, and very happy they did. So yeah, basically that's what I'm doing today. What it is effectively a kind of nice little coiling device to help you with your, your standard and your micro coils, which I love it. Let's make it easy for people. So that's what I'm doing today. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to straight down into the close-up, show you a little bit around it. I'm actually going to do a little review for you on the camera, just because I want to see how easy it is on the camera, how easy it makes my life on the camera, and also, it's nice for you to see how it all works as well. So that's a bonus. And then come back up and do all the flappy doogan on the other side of this. Right guys, a little close-up of the e-cig Coil Plus from VapeGear. So this ain't coming in this little Ziploc bag, we'll get rid of that on the occasion it's not needed. So that's our e-cig Coil. Now I'll just go very quickly into a quick close-up of it, and I'm going to build a coil on it, why not? So basically what we've got here is a little screw at the top here for trapping your wire. We've got a hole there to stick your selected post into, and then you've got a nice little screw here for releasing, the said hole, if you can see in there, and then you screw it back on to obviously secure your pole. Now, nice little bit of sort of, I don't know what you say, wood burn, I believe that's called. I mean, I should know because I used to do it, but there you go, a little bit of wood burning going on there. Made from solid oak, so it's a nice little bit of oak this. Okay, hopefully you can make this out of the glare, but it's a lovely bit of wood. It's been finished, I want to say with a wax possibly, but it's a fairly simplistic bit of kit, a rubber stopper. If we pop our rubber stopper off, inside we've got a selection, here we go, of bits. I'm just going to put a rubber stopper there as a little stopper because I know he's going to try and roll off. And in there you've got 5 bits. Okay, these are actually I possess some of these because I bought some. Here's one. A while ago from eBay, my partner did, and we cut them up, they were 2mm. But you've got that in this. You've got one of this, which is the smallest here. This is a 1.33mm, so that's for like your nano coils, for example. Plonk that back in now, and then you have a series getting bigger increasingly. So that's your 2mm. Put that back in there. Then you've got a 2.5mm, and then you've got a 3 and a 3.5. We're going to go with the 3 today, why not? So it's a nice little bit of storage in there, it's just a drilled hole with a simple rubber stopper. Oh, hello. Simple rubber stopper, but it works, and I do like that. Just plonk her there for a second. Now obviously you've got that variety because you've got, your 1.33, that's your nano coils. Your 2mm is kind of the standard diameter that I would use for a normal coil, normal micro coil, and then you can go slightly larger if you need to, up to sort of 3.5 where you've got your macro coils. So yeah, that's what it is. I'll just plonk this here. Now using it's fairly simple. First of all, we're going to secure our selected rod. Okay, this here, just to sort of mention, as you can see, I just slipped on the screwdriver. This was quite stiff. I actually took the screw away out and screwed it in a couple of times, and it loosened it up a bit. But all we want to do is screw it off until you can see all the way down there, and then plonk. That's like throdding now. I found because of the height of that screw there, I bring it up a little bit like so, and then just simply screw it back up. Now see, that's it lent out. So what I tend to do is then drop it down a bit more if it's doing that, purely because you don't really want it leaning out for the sake of coiling, and also it doesn't feel as sort of solid to me when it does do that. But plonk it down there. And there you go, Bob's your uncle. That's now secure, that's not going anywhere, and we've got the basis of our sort of little coil deck, if you like, I suppose. And then if we slacken off this top one, again the same thing. It was a bit stiff, it still is a bit stiff to be honest. I've unscrewed it a couple of times and it's become a bit looser, but over time this will cut, it will wear and wear. It's wood, so it's going to, you don't need to do it much. And then what I've got here is a bit of 0.34 pre-flamed candle. Now to start off with, I tend to do that on one of the ends, so make it like a hook situation, and drop it, a bit more of a hook situation, and then drop it straight underneath that screw, like so, and then just screw her down, like that. There we go, nice and tight. So that wire's now in there, it's going nowhere. And then it's just a simple case of wrapping your coil. The advantage with these bits being the same size constantly is that using the same wires on the same bits, you can know exactly how many wraps is going to be, how many wraps is going to give you a certain resistance, you know. So I know like sort of 8 wraps of this wire around a 2mm drill bit from experience with my own 2mm bits. It's going to give me around 1 ohm. So I'm going to go for 8 because I want to go slightly higher. Now because it's just 3mm, I reckon we're going about 1.7, but you know, I could be wrong, I don't use 3mm bits very often. It's just a simple case of a bit of tension, and then wrap it round and bring it to the wire. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then numero 8. Simple as that. Now I tend to falter around a little bit with my finger, like so. And then another advantage of this is once that's done, okay, like so, I've got my little micro coil going on in there. I will loosen this off like that, pull our wire out. You can then slide the coil down. Then what I do is get my little tweezers and give that a little nudge down there as well, because you've got a solid base to push it against, and actually, you know, tweezes them coils together. So that's as simple as that is really. And now one thing I've noticed using this is give yourself a bit more length on these wires than you're used to, purely because of the amount of travel that you've got on them. So if we cut that there, that's a very quick and easy coil. But because of the distance you've got to here, you know, you cut your standard length and you might not leave that much usually. I don't typically, and you'll forget and you're about, oh, bugger, I'm about to leave more here, so I can't do as many wraps as I want to. So give yourself a little bit extra wire just until you get used to using it. And that's as simple as it is really. I mean, lovely little micro, couple of little gaps in there, but as you would if you was wrapping them by hand. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly chuck this in the Zenith clone. Review is coming. Let's go around this way. So I'm going to chuck that in a Zenith clone, all up close there like that. Now what I tend to do actually, to be honest, with these coils, is I'm going to slacken this off, because this is what I would usually do. Slacken that off there, pull my pole out, and I'm going to stick that back in the coil. It makes it, sticking it in the device, far easier. Okay, so pull her in a little bit, like so. And then I'm just going to grab me little Allen key for the Zenith, like that, and just tighten it down. 1, 2. No, I didn't need to do a little rewick in here, to be honest with you, to show you this, but you know, it's nice to see. And to be honest with you, on camera, that's made that little easy coil has made this a much easier process, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And anything making my life easier, I'm a big fan of. So, you know, it is what it is. Then we'll grab our little snips. Snip 1, snip 2. Job's a good one. Remove your rod that's no longer needed. Stick it on a mod. Wonder how close I was with the resistance. That's the main. Right, so screw it down. Let's find out what the resistance of this is. 1.6. That ain't bad going. Right, so 1.6 ohms. You know, look, we're heating straight away. That's a micro coil, bang on. I'm going to crimp it just a little bit because I like my coils to be slightly tighter together than that. But, you know, for those of you that want to wrap a perfect micro, you've just seen it on the camera. Bosh, first time, no problem whatsoever. Grab your bit of cotton, stick her through there, give it a little twist as you do. That's about right there. And then just grab me snippers. I mean, I know that I do these calls a lot, and a lot of people say you make it look easy on camera and whatever else, and you know, to some respect, yes, but this makes it easy. This little easy call to build your perfect micros. This does make it pretty easy procedure. Excuse the sloppiness of that cotton. My snips have been ruined by 0.8 candle. And then yeah, prime the wick, which to be honest with you, I don't really need to do on camera, but I'm here now, so I may as well. Nice bit of a Blue Moon from Moose Juice. Prime the wick in cotton. Dush, 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 like that. Bit more over here. Like so. and we are away. That is us. That's how easy it is. So back up to me now, guys. I'm going to chuck my top cap on, have a little vape, and then I'm going to come and talk to you about it. Right, guys, welcome back up to me. I said I was going to have a little vape. As you can see, I've been. In fact, I think I'm going to have one more. Put that down there. Right, as you see in the close-up, lovely little thing this, and it is small. I mean, what have I got here to compare it to? That most of you will have iPhone 5, so it's the bigger one. You know, it's lovely and small, and it's a little bit of UK made oak craft, UK crafted, sorry, oak. I like that. I like that a lot. I love, you know, craftsmanship of wood, especially something so simple that does, you know, a job that for a lot of people is quite, helps people, you know, do a job that for a lot is quite difficult, especially when you're starting off. So I'm going to go into the full specs now. So obviously VapeGear.co.uk, and down there as well, lovely Keith and Kirsty. Price on this £12.99, so you know, not even 13, just under 13 quid. I think, seeing as you them little rods in there, as I said, my partner bought a few and we cut them up, and they were about 4 quid each. Now we got about 16 little 2mm rods out of it, but if you wanted to buy, you know, the 5 sizes, you know, that's going to cost you like 16 odd quid. You'll have more of them, granted, but saves you having to do that and getting the Dremel out. So 13 quid, and the little bit of the write up on it says, this little device will turn making coils and microcoils for your rebuilder atomizers simple and effective. Handcrafted in the UK from solid oak with a stainless steel rods with a quick turn screw for minimum effort. The Easy Coil is constructed from start to finish totally by hand and is finished in natural beeswax. I did say wax, that's not bad. I had read the description but I didn't read it all the way to the end, I'm sorry. But yeah, so a natural beeswax, handcrafted oak Easy Coil, spot on. The Easy Coil includes one 1.3mm, one 2mm, one 2.5mm, one 3mm and one 3.5mm stainless steel bars. The Easy Coil also includes a handy holder for the steel bar, so which it does. Yeah, nice little hole there, so you can screw your steel bar in. And the bigger ones, I believe, will actually fit in that rubber stopper. Now, I don't know whether you'd want to put that in there or not, but whatever. It's there. Height 70mm, which will be to there. Width is 60, which is there, and the depth is 20. You know, just under an inch. Now, using this, and I used it down there, so you could see, that was a piece of piss. To be honest with you, and it's not just that as a piece of piss, because I can wrap a coil around the. I could use that bar and wrap a coil, you know, pretty much as effectively. If I'm honest with you, that was a piece of piss, no matter what skill set you are. And I'm not going to sit and say I don't need this, because I like this, and it's not just for this. If you're an experienced rebuilder, especially if you're using some of the more tricky wires, you will know how much of a bugger they can be. In fact, I've got some here. Where are we? I've got some here. This is 0.8 candle. Now that's that big. Now when you compare it to something which especially if you're starting, you know, you would consider 0.32 or 28 gauge, you would consider that a big wire in comparison to like your 0.2. So a little comparison for you, that there is 0.34, that is 0.8. There's a big difference between those two, okay? And wrapping with that, honestly, is like trying to wrap a coat hanger. Alright, now the other day I thought, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this Easy Coil with this 0.8 to see how easy it makes my life when it comes to the builds that I do every day, you know, when I'm trying to be idiotic, you know, the builds that I would struggle with because they're a pain to build. And I tried that with 0.8, around the 2 and around the 3mm bar, and I'll tell you what, straight under, round, and it was off. Bloody fantastic, really is. Then I thought, well, let's branch out a little bit more. Why don't we try and do parallel coils? If you are, you know, a builder, you might know what they are. I'd imagine a lot of you will, if you watch Rip Trippers especially. But I thought, why not try parallel coils? So 2 bits of wire, bang, 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 and it was perfect. And then I thought, I'll do 3, then 4, and I was trying ridiculous things just to see what I could accomplish on this, which would have been more difficult for me, a lot more difficult in certain cases, if I was just using a bar. And I'll tell you what, I love this little thing. I think for 13 quid you would buy that as a novice builder, and then if you decided to branch into the ridiculous where a lot of us end up, you would still be using it, because your more complicated builds will always be made easier by this device. I like the finish on it. I think it's a really cool little bit nifty kit. It fit nicely in a little Rewick Ego case or something like that. That would fit in there, no problem whatsoever. Obviously, if you have already got some bars, you could add them bars to it. There's a bit of space for a couple more bars in there underneath that rubber stopper, so you could actually branch out and add a thicker or an even thinner for, you know, them really sort of dragon coil style, nano coils. I've seen people wrap them around paper clips, but I think this is spectacular. I really do. I like this kind of thing because it makes it easier for the guys that are struggling with them coils, and for me, that is the most important person in this market. Now I know that the main market for e-cigs and egos and stuff, but when you start branching out, that's when it becomes not smoking anymore. It becomes a hobby. It becomes spectacular, and you really get into it, which all of us do, which is why you're watching this typically. But that for me is the most important step that you will take in your vaping experience when you go from your mass-produced usables to your buildables, where you take full control of what's happening, and this makes making that step easier. And for that, I think for 13 quid they're giving them away. I really do. I loved that bit when I did that jump, and I miss that, you know, that feeling. And if this makes more people experience that, then I'm definitely for it. I really do enjoy this thing, and I think for something so beautifully simple, it solves an issue that a lot of guys find astronomically frustrating. So a big massive thumbs up for Keith and Kirsty of stocking this. I know this isn't the first of its kind. This is the first one I've had, and I'm not letting it go. I don't care. I'm really enjoy that. So if you want one, VapeGear, they've got a few left in stock. They're $12.99. Get on there. If you're struggling with them coils, or you know, if you want the extra, you know, the additional sizes of them rods, and you don't want to buy them from eBay and drop them up yourself, you know, or if you're an experienced builder who just wants something that's going to make your life a little bit easier, firm recommendation. Really am. This is in terms of accessory wise, this is the most valuable thing I've bought since valuable thing I've had, because Kirsty and Keith sent down free for review. Valuable thing I've had since my blowtorch. And you know, I know that's, if you're experienced, you'll know what that means. If you're novice, just ignore what I've just said. But if you're experienced, you'll know what that means. Especially when it first came into microcoils, when they were not as well known and not as commonly used. And I think in this market, a lot of us forget how hard wrapping our first coils were, because we've got to the point where it's second nature to us now, and I know I certainly have. And I think a lot of us forget just how hard that was when we were first trying in, and then we tried microcoils and they're all, you know, all higgity-piggity all over the place. And this makes it so much easier for them people. And honestly, you can probably tell I'm genuinely excited for this little item, and I'm really glad Keith and Kirsty have got them in. It's spot on, it really is. Head over and check them out, guys. It's down there if you want to follow it on the link. Other than that, just a massive thank you to Keith and Kirsty. This thing puts a massive smile on my face, and a big up to them. And obviously, you know, VapeGear in general, spot on service, fantastic products, and you know, I can't sing VapeGear's praises enough. I really can't. I'm not promoting them. They're not paying me to do this review, by the way, guys. But no, I can't praise them anymore, even if they were, basically. So yeah, VapeGear are fantastic. Head over and check them out, guys, if you haven't already. Other than that, pretty much done here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Mr. Proton. Shall see you soon.